If you've watched this channel before, you're probably aware of my most popular video, Making of Plant Apocalypse. This was made in the 2019 GMTK Jam, and the video ended up being just a bit popular. So now it's time again for the GMTK Jam, more than twice the size of the previous year, and with the theme out of control. But I had a slight problem. I was on holiday. I was spending a couple of weeks in a family house in Cornwall, and GMTK just decided to happen right in the middle of it. But this was a game jam I just couldn't miss out on, so instead of lapping up the sun and getting sunburnt all over, I sat down by my computer and made a game. But this time, I wasn't alone. I've mostly participated in game jams by myself, except for one time I worked with Polymars on a Ludum Dare game. But that wasn't the best experience. We were both stubborn with what we wanted to do and had to compromise with an idea I wasn't overly fond of, and because of other commitments, I ended up doing a lot more of it than I wanted to. So this time I wanted to do it right. We both have an idea we want to do, and we do equal work. And though we did run into some issues, we made a game which I'm quite happy with. This is Ollie from Mashup Games, and welcome to the making of Wound Up, featuring Reece Geofroy. So if you know Reece, you know he's good at art, and good at programming. And if you know me, you know I'm good at art, and good at programming. So, we both kind of specialise in the same thing. How do we do this? Well, this is tricky. But there's one thing that makes things easier. Reece specialises in Game Maker, and I specialise in Unity. I've never touched Game Maker, and Reece has had very little experience in Unity. And so it worked as follows. Reece would do all the art and sound effects, and I would do all the programming. Reece also lives in Canada, and I'm in good old England, and so we would be on different time zones, but that isn't too much of an issue. When the theme was announced, we got brainstorming on ideas. Reece hopped onto Google Docs while I ate my food, and when it got to us hopping on a call together, there was one idea I was quite fond of.
Yes, I do like that idea, that second one that you have there. It'd be pretty hard to get done in honestly, I'm okay to commit to this idea here.
So we got to work, or rather Reece got to work. I went to bed, but I was excited to try out this game idea in the morning. But when I woke up, I saw I had some messages from Reece. Things were not looking good. The problem with our idea is that we didn't know what the gameplay would be, at least not one where you'd be able to tell that the theme was out of control. So goodbye simulation idea. Reece had left a couple more ideas in the Google Doc before he slept, and I decided to mock up some real quick prototypes of two of them before he woke. One was the idea that you could drag around letters and words to combine them, and the dragging motion was very loose. For example, you'd drag this S to the end of the word control in the middle to make the word controls, which would unlock your ability to move the player around. Another prototype is the idea of a wind-up toy, one that you have to wind up, then release and try to control it as it jitters about to get to the end. I like this idea, as I don't normally make top-down puzzle games, and this would make things really fun. So we decided to settle on the toy idea, and while Reece worked on it, I was still on holiday, so I went to chill on the beach for a few hours. Before I went, we had briefly discussed the idea of the toy game. But, well, when I got off the beach, Reece had done this. And then I realised we weren't as uniform as I thought in what we were thinking this game would be. So top tip to people working in teams, make sure you both have the same idea. After the discussion, we decided to go top-down level based after all. Art guy Reece started making sprites for the robot and other things, and I started properly making the movement. How it works is you hold the key to wind the toy up, then release it. The toy would randomly move left or right a random amount every frame, and you could turn the robot a little using the left and right arrow keys. I also added holes that the little robot can fall into to add some sort of danger to the game. I soon went to bed while Reece worked on some more art, and by the time I woke up there was plenty of art for me to import. So I did, and it's looking a lot better. I also tried to fake 3D by asking Reece to draw the different parts of the robot and move the bottom ones depending on how far away the robot is from the camera. But this was later scrapped because it sucked. Reece then started on making some sweet sound effects while I made this. Truly equal work here. Though to be fair, when I got the sound effects, I made a nice launcher with particle effects as the end of the level. Nice. And while I avoided making levels, I made this little graphic in the first level to act as a tutorial. But well, it was the last day and we only had one level. So let's make some levels. We've got some holes, so let's make some levels where the player has to try and avoid falling into holes. There you go, wholesome. We also got some ice floors. Let's make some levels using that. Now that's a nice level. We also got these gates that change the player's direction. So let's make some levels that use that. Quick turnaround. Reece also got some nice sound effects for the wind-up mechanic, which honestly makes the game sound So now we got 1 hour left, and one more level to make. Reece started making the game page, and I was going full level designer mode over here. Okay, so what do we got so far? We got holes, we got ice, we got gates. Okay, so let's add this here, this, there, bim, bam, 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 boom. Got us an ultimate level. And with some slightly stressful uploading, we got it done. Nice. High five, Reece. You can play the game on the itch.io page, link in the description, and if you don't already, give Reece Geofroy a subscribe. His channel is also in the description, and I'll be linking to the end card video on his take of the jam. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how this game turned out, considering we had to scrap a couple ideas before we got to our final one, and I didn't have too much time myself. Plus I teamed up for this time, which was a great experience and I'd love to do it some more. But for now, if you've liked this video, then give it a like and subscribe. This is Mashup Games, signing out.